Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry I've been away for a long time, but AI has been going crazy these past few months. After Gemini 3, we got stuff like GPT 5.2 Codex, then we got Topos 4.5. The last week we got an upgrade to both in the span of 20 minutes. So stuff are surely going crazy right now. That's why the entry video that I'm going to do to come back full force to my channel is a quick review slash tier list. The tools that I've been using lately, the one that I tried, I didn't like, and the ones that I just got obsessed with. Those are the one that I'm gonna review today. So first of all, let's explain what's an harness and what does it mean. An harness is just a fancy word to explain a coding agent. Coding agents are quite specific because they need a lot of tools, they need a lot of context, and they need a lot of recursive actions. It's not just your simple agent that gets data from Notion, data from HubSpot, and gets it together. And that's why there are a lot of multi-million-dollar companies that are working all on the same thing. They want to create the best agent possible. And they are all using different approaches. The main things I want from an harness are it needs to be portable, it needs to be expandable, it needs to not be crazy expensive. Those are the three main ones. The last one is pretty self-explanatory. The second is kind of difficult to make you understand without showing, so we will get back later to this. But just as a TLDR, most of the harnesses have some side tools, let's call it like that. For example, they have sub-agents, they have skills out of the box, they have custom quote unquote MCPs that they can use. So that's the part of being expandable. It's like VS Code and VS Code extensions. And the first one is the most important one. It needs to work on my terminal. It needs to work on my VPS. It needs to work on the mobile app that I'm making. Oh, little spoiler here. Those are the three benchmarks that I always use to even start trying an harness. Now, there is also another one, but it's super specific for me and for a bunch of other devs that are always on the cutting edge of models. That is, it needs to support multiple models out of the box. This is something that only super picky people are gonna coming like next year or something, because at this point I think that the top coding models from all the labs, OpenAI and Anthropic, basically, they are almost on par on how good they are at code. So let's get back to our tier list. First of all, Codex and the Codex App, they've been going through a wild ride lately. Like Codex was one of the most useless harnesses at the start, but it was also one of the open source one, because just a little reminder, Cloud Code is not fucking open source. So the only problem, quote unquote problem, I'm gonna be like a dick for a second. Codex is written in Rust. This means that me, as a vibe coder idiot, I cannot expand it myself. Or if I try, it's gonna make my life like a super huge headache. But Codex has something that the other harnesses don't have, that is full OpenAI support. This means that if new Codex models like the GPT 5.3 are gonna release, we know for sure that Codex is gonna be the first one having it. So for this, I'm gonna put it at least A tier, because on the Go tier we have the Codex app. Now let me open my Codex app for a second and then close it super fast, or my potato PC is gonna explode. Basically, what the Codex app is, for people that tried Conductor, it's the same thing. It's a nice UI wrapper on top of Codex. And this is amazing. You can specify your model, you can specify your reasoning level, you can specify the branch, you can open on different terminals. I have that as default. You can create PRs directly here. You can open the terminal. You can do the diffs. You can run automations. You have a bunch of skills. It gets them from your global ones and from each project. For example, I have one specific to my body box app. It's really good. It's an amazing wrapper, and the main use of this application, it's super easy to understand. It's parallel working. And when I speak about parallel working, I'm not speaking about the cringy automations that you saw on LinkedIn of people building like a billion agent with sub skills with no. What I'm saying is, let me see if I can find it tweet from this ultra goat that builds OpenClaw. Okay, let me find the tweet real quick because I reposted it. So yeah, this is what I want to achieve. The main problem is that if you use like so many terminals, I think my brain is gonna just like fry instantly. So the easiest way to do it is just having a wrapper, a UI wrapper that tells you, look, Francesco, this is done. This needs approval. This needs to commit. This you need to test it because the build failed, etc., etc. So I think the Codex App got 1 million downloads the first week, something like that. And this is like crazy for a new OpenAI products. For example, the Atlas. I don't think after months doesn't have like even 1 million people using it for real. So, and that's why this is like crazy shit that only god tier people can do. Codex, let's say, is 80% of this. So it's an easy way to get parallel work done without burning down, basically. So now, Cloud Code. We had a bunch of controversies for Cloud Code for multiple reasons. They blocked OpenCode, OpenClaw, and a lot of other providers from using their subscription model, so they could only use the API. You should never pay Anthropic by API if you don't want to get broke. But Cloud Code is still the goal. Cloud Code is still one of the best harnesses. They still have one of the best agent SDK. The only big problem they have is that they are not open source. Now, Anthropic recently bought Ban, acquired wherever, Ban. And now Jared, that is like a ultra god developer, it's also working on Cloud Code. And I hope that seeing Ban that is fully open source, you can contribute to it, etc., etc., they can start thinking about open sourcing Cloud Code. But honestly, I don't have such a strong opinion about it, just for one simple reason. We have harnesses that are almost as good, or for some people even better, than Cloud Code. Here I have my third GOAT, that is OpenCode. OpenCode has literally everything that I need here. It's ultra giga portable. You can literally run it on your fridge. If it has Linux, you can run it everywhere. It's super ultra expandable because it's fully open source. You can do whatever the fuck you want with it. And about the crazy expensive thing, you can use other subscriptions like Anti-Gravity. You can use the OpenAI one and they're not gonna ban you. You can use the GLN coding plan, Minimax coding plan, Kimi, etc. So there are pretty good ways of not making it crazy expensive. They also have a bunch of free models, and they also have the OpenRouter free models because you can use OpenRouter with that as well. I will link a video on the top right card, still should be relevant, where I show you how to code for free. Now let's get back to our tier. We had so many Go tier. Now, this is interesting. I've been testing for less than a month, I guess, but I am struggling between Goat and Hay because has a really nice approach on how they serve their services. Basically, what they do is they decide for you. They decide for you which is the best model, which is the best fast model, which is the best deep think model. They just give it to you. This is really good for developers that don't want to think much about which models are the best, which one you should use for XYZ. Sadly, is not my philosophy, but AMP it's a really good product for 95% of the developers. So I will just put it in A. Now, Droid, for me, it's like AMP. So it's one of the best harnesses, but you can use wherever model you want. You can even use models that are not inside Droid. And I can show you how in the video in the top right. It has an amazing plan mode. It has an amazing headless mode as well. It's really one of the best harnesses right now. Anti-Gravity and Gemini CLI will go together. They are both Google products. Anti-Gravity is slightly better than Gemini CLI. Gemini CLI right now, it's lagging a lot far behind the top harnesses. Anti-Gravity, it's okay. It has a lot of bugs. One really good thing about Anti-Gravity is that the subscription you have with Anti-Gravity, you can use it with other harnesses. For example, OpenCode. So free Opus, whatever. Cursor. Now, Cursor is still amazing. I know the controversies. I know the CLI people, the pricing plan is a bit meh, but I understand. Doing inference is really expensive. Cursor now has a ultra giga important competitive advantage. That is, it's one of the biggest entry points for coding models. You know almost for a fact that Cursor is gonna have the new models that are coming out as soon as they can get it shipped. For example, Codex 5.3, it got released to the Codex App 1 week ago. And yesterday, Cursor just got it. So it's just like 5 days delay, but most of the harnesses here still don't have Codex 5.3 just because it's not available in They improved the plan mode. They have a nice browser tool. They are doing really cool stuff. And now that they acquired Graphite, I expect a lot on code review and GitHub integration as well. So they are gonna do wonders. Now, before we go to the vibe, like ultra vibe codey stuff, let me finish with the other harnesses. Windsurf, I mean, it's okay. They got acquired by Cognition, but I'm still waiting for a real, like, super nice integration between him and Devin. I still need to try Devin, so I will just put it here. Not tried yet. I have a subscription. I'm just really, really lazy. I just need to test it. Now, before we go to the ultra vibey stuff, Reptile and CodeRabbit, code review tools that you just have in your GitHub. They review your code. They tell you which problems the code have, and they give you suggestions and the prompt to fix it. They are a must-have. We are basically playing some positive game to have them and a some negative game to not have them. So it makes no sense. It's almost Pareto superiority. Having a repo with them or without them, it makes a huge difference. Now, about the async agents. Sambo is really, really good. It has a bunch of models that you can use. It never failed me really hard, just a couple of stupid things, but all around a really, really good async agent. Jules, it has one big problem. Okay, Jules is an amazing harness. I love how they are taking care of the async agents. I love that you can spawn it programmatically with the API. Jules has only one problem, the model. Why should I use Jules that has Gemini 3 Pro if Codex and Opus are so much ahead of them? There are no reason for it. In fact, Jules, I've been using it a lot, but just for one reason only, to do front-end tasks. Because Gemini 3, in my personal opinion, is still superior. Opus for 6 with the front-end design skill, it's really good. But I think Gemini gets my style a bit more out of the box. I still didn't try it a lot. This is the one from ByteDance, I think, the one from TikTok. They say that it's really good, and the pricing is still should be really good. So you can give it a try. What else before we go to the vibe coding stuff? Okay, we are basically done. Now let's start with the heavy vibe code stuff. Like this part, it's the real developer. Now let's add to the tier list just the vibes. Firebase needs a tier, so like please don't use it. Firebase needs a tier of its own, like please not. I tried it multiple times. I always had problems. Flutter is not a good framework, so no. Chef S tier, maybe A. I will explain why. What's Chef first of all? Most of you probably didn't even know about its existence. That is the Bolt DIY fork, more or less, of Convex. Convex is one of the most amazing tools that ever existed. It does backend, it does your database, it has a sync engine that is out of this world. They have components that are extensible way of adding stuff to your code like Stripe, Rug, AI agents, Firecrawl, Scrape with an ease that honestly I never saw anywhere else. As I stated a bunch of times, I think that Convex is like the Shotziano of backend. It's super extensible. You can do it wherever you want with it. It's fully open source as well. Amazing. Now, what's Chef? Chef is the pipe code agent. Imagine it like V0, Lovable, etc. that uses Convex for the backend. This already puts it in God tier. Now, the only problem is that this is not one of their main tools. They open source it, but it's not like one of their main priorities. So an easier way to have Path is just spawning Codex or Cloud Code and giving him the llm.txt of Convex. This is the usual way of doing it for me. But the idea itself, it's amazing. Like you can get out DB sync working out of the box with the same ease you have of spawning a front. Now, speaking of front ends, V0 is still the best one. V0 is from the Vercel guys, Next.js guys. It makes amazing front end. They just spawn a new update that I still need to check out. So I understood more or less that now it's more for a 0 to 1 process. So you can import stuff from your GitHub and doing changes from that directly. So this is a really good approach, in my opinion. V0 is amazing. It's extensible. It just misses Convex. The day we are gonna have V0, that is the best front-end harness with Convex that is the best backend in the world. You can literally spawn enterprise-ready apps directly from the V0 sandbox. Now, what else do we have? Vault, from B to C, something like that. I've tested it a bunch the last month or so. They had some kind of hackathon. The problem with Bolt is their backend choice, super base. I had a lot of problems with that. And it's the same from Lovable. Also, I don't like much those kind of tools, so take it with a grain of salt. Test it and see if they work for you. I just don't like them. Magic Path, it's been amazing for front-end tasks and front-end prototypes. So I'm just gonna make it just give it the go out here. And I think we are more or less done. Let me give a final check. Yes, I think I didn't miss anything. Guys, this video went longer than I imagined. But I think it's really important to start here, even if it's the 10th of February. So we are not like early, but at least we start with the best harnesses. I think this is a good tier list. Not because I'm biased, but because I tested basically all of those tools, most pretty extensively. So I think I have adjusted more or less which are the best harnesses right now. But if you have a different opinion from mine, or you want to add some harnesses, you think that, I don't know, Crash is the best CLI or something, or Kiro, whatever, just tell me in the comments and I'll get back to you. Maybe we can do an update to this tier list in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and let's see what changed. So thank you for watching. That's it on my side. Have a good one. Bye bye.